Your pants.
I'm gonna shit your pants.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, that wasn't a threat.
Wait. Oh, that's...
Who's Hideichi 9194?
It's me.
That is.
It's you.
Oh, you bastard, Yakanati. Dealing
What?
with kill.
Vish?
Hi.
Oh.
Why did you...
Why are you suddenly forward?
What? Did you rename?
No, it's the privacy mode thing.
What?
Are you a gas pump right now, or what
The
are
new
you?
privacy. No, I'm a coffee cup.
Oh, wonderful.
You're
I put it in VoIP earlier.
What? Privacy mode?
Yeah, you can stop yourself getting stream snipes that way.
Put my
How
You
you
can use certain Unicode characters, but tragically not the Among Us one.
Yeah, if you have premium, you can go in your settings and like turn it or
What's it in?
whatever. It's under like privacy and whatever.
Yeah, options.
Yeah.
Wait, I can do this for anything.
Yes.
Can you?
Well, not anything, but yeah, you can use a lot of Unicode characters.
Bro,
My
how is
turrets
it?
are what? Why are my fuck? Why do the
Yep.
cargo ships not count for anything?
Because they have the same sort of reward modifiers as the carrier does. And they're also super easy to kill, so, you know, we just go for the destroyers.
Yeah.
Does it take a game to update?
Yes, it does.
No! No, it doesn't!
No, it takes a game for us to see it. That's
Yeah, it takes time for us to see it, but it's instant for
Oh my god, this is
So your
great.
name won't be hit in this match.
your name too. We're not going to be able to see it anyway, but
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because now it just says heat loss.
yeah.
And
Well, even then, like it'll still say heat loss after.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Yeah, well, no, sorry. You're right. I'm dumb.
It'll still say lost, but
I
this
had
is
it
not
wrong.
a match,
You'll
but
see
it-
what I changed it to.
No,
Well,
we
no, I
won't until
won't.
you.
We
Yeah,
won't. That's the point of privacy mode.
yeah. We never see what you change it to.
That's why you see like Hideichi for me.
What?
It's a privacy mode. You're not supposed to. It's
You can see
anonymized
it on
anything.
your end. Yeah, you'll see it on your end, but
Okay, 10 spawn points.
Yeah, it's weird because it says...
bro, there's just like a destroyer Megazord over here.
It's a convoy. We're supposed to kill
Yeah,
the
it
convoy.
says...
No, they're all just like
weird.
human centipeding into each other on my screen.
Crap. Yeah,
They're trying to become a
Congo.
Congo. Like Congo lining.
Democratic Republic of the IJN Congo.
Damn.
To be fair, probably has a higher population than some small countries.
I don't know about the DPRC though. Or Democratic. Yeah, DRK. DRC, whatever. DRC. I don't think the DRC exists anymore. They changed their name, right?
No, it does. It's still Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Oh, okay. I thought they changed it to like Republic of the Congo or something.
No, that's two different countries.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the DR Congo is the big one, and then the regular Republic of the Congo is like right above it.
It's
On
just
the
like how
coast.
Tasmania is a different country from Australia.
It is?
No.
The fuck? I was like, I'm
Here it
pretty
is.
sure it's just a fucking island.
No,
it's
it's
a
just-
different country.
The Australian government forgets it exists.
You're all wrong. It's a different country.
Tasmanian devils have the same purchasing power as the average Australian.
Tasmania
Yeah.
has also not lost a war against emus.
Crap.
If I hear this fucking joke one more time, I'm going to slaughter 1,000 natives.
Don't worry, I'm
That's
just gonna
another
impregnate your cows like we did last time.
Their deaths paved the way for success.
Australian
Fuck, why are all
Wagyu
my-
was just revenge by the Japanese.
Wow, I got more
Oh,
points for an assist in the ducky than I did for killing the cargo.
Yeah, cargo's offered us pump
I
points.
am so fast right now. To Mirage 3E, lol. Yeah.
Oh, is that a player? That's a player.
Yes,
Oh, my
shooter.
premium runs out soon. Oh no, 2 days.
Come on, Kaze.
I hope you can't torp friendly carrier.
No, I don't think so.
Right, I accidentally dumped a bunch of my torps that way on accident.
Don't worry about it. It loiters in circles.
If nothing else, you might hit an enemy player who spawns
Where
next to it.
is the enemy? Oh no, they're not close. Where is the enemy carrier though? That's the most important question.
Fletcher like rushing. Oh wait, that's a Yugure.
Still a Fletcher.
I
It's just a
am, yeah,
slightly
I am
glimpsed one.
ripping him
Yeah.
to. I mean, it's got some benefits, some nerfs.
We didn't have to worry about getting
Ultimately.
torped by it.
Yes. It's a great destroyer for AA. It's a really useful ship for Japan overall, but I think in this situation against a Dido and whatever you guys are in,
It's also rank 2.
yeah,
there it
the
goes.
rank 2 part doesn't really matter too much comparatively. That's just more for economics, and
Yeah.
performance doesn't care about economics.
It's just that if a vehicle is under rank 2, it's basically irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Or if it's rank 2 or under.
I would say that the Yukata has remained permanently relevant just because it's the best single best AA piece for Japan by a wide margin.
You can first spawn Northampton?
Yes,
Mhm.
that's why it's such a that's why the US is so damn powerful.
Fucking stuck
Their
on
early
top.
game is only beaten by Italy. That's how good they are. Only
Italy?
beaten by- Italy has Trento at 5-0.
Oh,
Trento is
oh.
stupidly good.
Yeah, I didn't realize Trento was 5-0.
A very undertiered vessel.
I guess no one plays Italy.
Except for me, who
Yeah, well.
abuses it extensively.
You are nobody.
I am your mom. Oh, if somebody has a float plane,
What's that mean?
yeah,
Mine.
breeze.
Where is it? Oh, I see it, yeah.
I hate flares. I hate flares. I hate flares. I hate flares. I hate flares.
Yoink! Ah! No!
What?
Oh
What's
well.
it? Oh.
My float plane went off and immediately did a front flip and blew up.
Oh yeah, you have to aim up instantly. Because
Yeah,
especially
I
the Kakulas, the catapult's a little low to the water.
I noticed, and now I'm getting sprayed at by
Oh, I should
shit that's
probably
in spawn.
fail, yeah. That gives him some spawn points, which is, I guess, good for him, but more importantly, I'm in Belfast.
Yeah, I may need to start salvoing these.
You're about to start beating their knees in.
Gotta start salvoing the players now.
Good call. Heat, do you have your float plane? Heat.
Yeah.
Can you go and scout out the carrier?
Fly the float
Okay,
plane out
apparently
it.
that just hit me.
Yeah, hold on. Gonna launch
Wait, no
one more
worries,
salvo.
no worries. It's already spotted. We can just shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already spotted. That's good. It just sailed close enough, I think. So we just start firing at it now. Destroy the convoy at F7. Is this a different convoy?
Yes.
Apparently. That's
F7
a
is on
land
land.
convoy. I hate those. Yeah, we do need somebody to take a plane at some point. Because this is a very air-heavy map, and if we lose pretty hard.
I'm gonna try something dumb.
Yeah.
Was that an Australian mating call?
That's just too mad.
I don't know what the video is called. I'm gonna find
It's literally too mad, right?
Is it? I don't know.
Pretty sure. When he raid Zoom calls.
No. It's the video of the kid.
Not sure which one this is then.
One day I will find it. No, it's not that video.
It's the same noise that Reggie Rock does when he farts, yeah?
No, you would know. It's very distinctive. Like you would know it.
I know of a sound like it. if that's the case.
It's like a kid like missing teeth and he's like looking at a screen or something, and then he goes,
Aussie checkpoint. This is what I'm thinking of.
Oh my god, this is such a dumb idea. Why am I doing
No,
this?
it's not that one.
Why are you suicide charging Yudachi
But
or
it
something?
does. It's not that,
Well.
but it is like.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna do damage.
Oh,
Those things have
lances.
an armored deck.
Lances. Lots of lances.
When the lances are long. Bing, 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 bing. No.
Hey, torpedo beats achieved.
Somebody attack
Kill
him.
assist
What
for a
the-
grand total of 22
Okay.
spawn
Cruisers?
points.
Destroy the
Yeah, those are
target.
both
Did I
cruisers.
actually do significant damage to that fucking
I wouldn't.
carrier?
I wouldn't put my bets on it. I would probably be more assured that people already did a lot of damage to it. You literally have two 60-kilogram bombs, so yeah.
Wait, he just
Yeah,
his plane.
down the funnel. No.
Damn you!
I mean,
Your ship AI successfully kill stole.
Did it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'd been less annoyed if it was actually you.
Oh,
Oh,
I just got slapped.
oh, that's a Yagure that's trying to murder me to death.
I have no turret. Might be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
I
couple
kind of
of
need those.
yank DDs that
yeah, I'm about to make them have a really bad day once I get within range.
need 40 points.
I guess keep at it then.
35.
You know what's funny?
Oh, this one's
The
within
visual
range.
model has a Kingfisher, and the plane you spawn in is a
Associated, yeah.
not a Seamew.
I mean, yeah, this is a common issue with a lot of these, like the, what should I call it?
Arizona.
The, oh, yeah, I was thinking about me. It has like
God, I am never gonna kill
sevens
anything. Holy
on
fuck.
its deck, but it shoots out E13s.
Alright.
Because of course, in real life, it actually used E13s.
Wow,
but
my
the
turrets
visual
take 7 years to turn.
The visual model doesn't use actual planes. Like, yes, it has a plane model, but that model is bound to the ship
Oh, that was
model.
a fucking AI. God damn it.
Alright, where do you need a Scharnhorst?
Oh, hi.
The same area we spawned for
Oh
the convoy.
shit. I've like
We're just
driven
pushing.
straight into the middle of Akizuki's.
Don't murder them.
I also
Akizuki's
have
okay.
Balti now, so if you need,
Yeah, and
actual
again, same location. The Scharnhorst will be the heavy lifting, and the Balti will be the AA support slash, I guess, cruiser
Okay.
killer.
It's our carrier?
I guess the Scharnhorst is also just the Balti's gimmick versus the Scharnhorst is the AA basically, but it's still pretty good.
Considering we
Let's
have
get
approximately
rammed
the same
by this AI.
ability.
Balti's also ridiculously fast.
Yeah, I mean,
No, she's not. That's
Uh,
literally
she's
just a
fast
standard
for,
US cruiser.
yeah, but the
Yeah,
Scharnhorst
that's
is actually just the same
fast.
speed. Scharnhorst is just as fast.
33 knots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 32 and a bit, which is the same as every other which is the same as every US cruiser post.
Oh my
Omaha.
god, I'm so sick of R60s pulling 50 Gs to go after the single flare.
And yeah, there's a pretty darn fast. How should I describe it? There are fast cruisers. The USN ones they're not slow, but
They're like a 6 or 7.
yeah. But the main thing is they're really good, solid overall packages. Like the Balti is a very durable ship for fighting other cruisers, and she's got the guns to shoot at range to make that armor count. Of course, once she meets capital ships, that all falls apart. But you know, that's just a problem with that dynamic in this game, found on a foundational level, right? Like a Scharnhorst is gonna a Scharnhorst is gonna turn a Baltimore into Tyler 1's skull. But
That fucking video that Alex put out.
yeah, that was a pretty good analogy.
That whole video was great.
Yeah, just as a thanks to think, I'm gonna start bashing his favorite day.
This is how it goes with the two of them.
I see that. Yeah, that's fair. But
Oh my god, they keep fucking taking up my bridge and nothing else. Fuck off.
Yeah. This is why I want Oyodo instead of Kako as our starter cruiser for Japan. Because that'd be really fun, because you get fucking 10cm AA guns. The only Japanese cruiser that could ever get him, because, you know, of course, IJN High Command dragging their feet on refitting the AA suite of all the Japanese cruisers to not have 10cm, even though they were talking about wanting it for ages.
Japanese High Command dragging his feet and having more than 2 of them available.
I need this kill before I die. Fuck.
Oyodo would be a great 5.0 for Japan, I think. She'd have AA, she'd have radar, she'd have Mikoma guns. She'd be a good complete package, and she would be a 5.0 in my books. You know, not a fucking 5.3 bullshit. That would be
Fucking annoying.
hell. Because she doesn't have long lances, we can't use that excuse to send her to the moon like they did with Agano. So hopefully they don't fucking do that stupid shit with her.
You'll love the wiki page for Oyodo.
How?
Designed to command submarine operations, she was obsolete upon completion.
I deaded that motherfucker's torpedoes, Alamau. Yeah, she was less than ideal for the situation in the war, but she was a very unique design.
Sorry, that's a very Japanese understatement.
Which one?
Less than ideal for the war situation.
Yeah, that is the
Channeling your inner
the war
shoulder.
has. Yeah, very much.
What?
She was definitely an innovation in design to a lot of things, but you know, war demands are a different situation to engineering design features and innovations. And ultimately, design is only as good as its use and
Especially when there's
application.
only one of them.
Stamped him there.
Yeah, I mean that's more of a. Again, that's not really a detraction on the design, but practically speaking, yeah, end result remains the same. Oh, I should probably be.
Holy shit, there's no way I got that range right.
Oh, by the way, can somebody shoot the cruiser that's peppering me to death?
You mean
Oh my
the
god.
Northampton or
So
The
close.
Japanese one. The Japanese one.
the Sendai looking thing?
The Mogami looking thing, maybe?
What Mogami looking thing?
Is there not a Mogami looking thing? In
No,
front of
to
me?
your left. In front of you, all I see is a smoke cloud.
Okay, I believe that there's
Back
the
from the
Gubita
back.
player.
And to the left, there's a Japanese cruiser.
It's an Alba. I can kill it. I can kill it. Can
good.
somebody kill the Northampton instead?
That's what I was
I'm
trying
working
to
on
do.
Northampton.
Yeah, sorry. I thought that was something scary. Alba is just in disguise.
Whoa, what? Huh?
Yeah, like that was one salvo already. He sent
Where
it
did I
back.
get a torp kill? The fuck?
Alamel.
Don't
Alright, well,
complain.
Congo time. Congo time.
Oh crap! I'm flooding. Oh, I never repaired that.
I
Comedy.
might actually spawn an F, because I think F is a little bit closer.
Whichever floats your boat.
And try
Literally.
that.
Well,
Spawn F
um,
and just go towards the points, and then
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
we need someone to start actually pushing, and you're conveniently timed.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Full show.
Oh, I gotta fucking turn.
Full show for the ho show. Sorry, that's a terrible pun.
I'm gonna dive bomb you
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah.
Please do.
Or the first
This
successful
ain't
use
the
of
Coral
Mark
Sea.
13.
This ain't the Coral Sea.
Nearly there,
Close, yeah, it's very close.
on the other side of the island.
True. I don't know why we're on this side in the first place. We never got here.
Where's the Northampton? Can someone mark it again?
Yeah, Jorm marked it.
Oh shit, it's out there. Oh, that's far. Never mind.
Jorm's got it, I hope.
Yeah, I'll let you guys handle it. I'm gonna spam at the stuff that's close to me.
I'm attempting to get it.
I have fast gun, I will shoot.
Well, there's also an Alba there.
Alba is not doing well, but I've also just been taking the beating that I should probably not have been taking.
Well, fortunately, he
Oh,
doesn't
there's
have
an air
anything
dom
higher than a
point.
Suzuki or Tone.
If somebody, Vish, if you can you take your float plane out and just loiter in the G cap?
Sure.
Many thanks. That will get us a free advantage without having to actually bring a plane.
There's an ally nearby, you can help repair his vehicle. Wonderful English.
You should see the old ones.
Yeah,
Don't throw the friends mission.
I'm aware of how bad the English is.
Don't throw the friends was one of my favorite sort of English mission
Load screens
labels.
are great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've been playing this since spring of 2012. You know, whatever the first public patch was, if it was 127.
127, I believe, was a bit later. Like, technically they had CVT 1.25, but you could access the game.
Yeah, but it wasn't the public release.
1.27 would be the public release, though. But that was... No, 1.25 had to be. I don't remember. One of the two.
It was 1.25 or 1.27.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize was so early in development until looking into it a couple of months ago.
And they had pretty freaking patches back then.
And that was the year of the My Little Ponies, or April event.
Do I just have to be in the GK? Oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
Do I have to be in the plane, or can the
Hey,
plane just...
you're on?
You have to
Yeah.
be in the plane.
Turn in. There are torps in the water.
Wait,
Just
Flaps or,
On the
like, flaps are
Alba?
stuck
I
on
kind of assumed from the Alba, but I don't know where.
landing.
Just follow me.
I don't think that they
You're
have...
Cool.
behind me, though.
That was interesting.
Say? Update?
I don't think it has flaps.
It does. They are stuck on landing.
It's strange, then, because whenever I toggle...
Square parentheses, square brackets.
Yeah, like, no, I'm pressing the square bracket, like, it's just stuck on landing. Like, it's showing me, like, takeoff, landing, combat, and raise,
Oh, so
but
the
it's
model's
not
just
moving.
frozen.
Oh, wait, now it did. What the fuck? That's so
Yeah,
weird.
just keep an eye out for the torps.
Yeah.
I need to...
Oh, yeah, I see them. They're right there.
Which plane is it? Is the monoplane or the biplane?
Me? Monoplane.
Okay, yeah. Then
They're going straight for you.
Pretty sure that... maybe
They're
it
going
does.
straight behind me. Like, between us. Oh, hello.
Good.
Never mind. There's another one going straight at my nose.
God. I've, like, ran around.
Actually, I'm gonna totally hit this torp regardless of what I do.
Torpedo.
Okay, we're fine.
Oh, no,
hell.
those are different
Oh
torps.
hell, there's more of them. There's more.
Those
I
are
would have been
very
fine if I
different
hadn't taken any evasive at all.
Interesting.
Don't worry.
Torpedo voraus.
I'm just threading another 5 of them. And then there's more to the
Yeah.
left. And then there's this little Japanese... What's the AA cruiser?
Is it?
Yeah, that piece of junk.
Oh, I'm within gunnery range of that. I'll start opening up.
No, that's fine. I mean, she's about dead, and I've dumped a torp in her direction, so...
Nice.
Oh my god, the cap takes so long.
Yeah.
Carrier.
The unfortunate thing is if you don't take it, then it just disappears. We have to be there early, and that's why the...
Das feindliche Schiff ist gesunken.
Okay, heading to the enemy carrier.
I guess it's not too vital.
Alright,
It's
I'll
5
clean up
tickets,
some
5
of these
tickets,
guys.
that's what it is. So if you don't want to do that, then don't worry, but...
Yeah, cause it takes so long and I'm just like not doing any damage.
Yeah, it actually might be... Yeah, just push up and just get something done there. As long as the enemy doesn't take it, that's really what I care about.
Well, keep my plane in the area.
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, that Fletcher's
You
dead.
have like, what, an hour of fuel?
Yeah, like I ran aground while I was flying around, which was unfortunate. I'm fine now, but... Oh, and something is shooting at me now. Oh, it's, whatever the fuck this is.
Destroy the target.
Looks like a Kako.
Keep the pressure on.
Ratty Kako. 14
Ba-da.
direction is needed.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Oh!
That's more than 14 inches here.
That's your gun caliber.
What? What? Oh, inch. Yeah.
Yeah, 381 mil.
Yeah, I was thinking...
81, what?
What?
356.
81, yeah, 381's a little different.
Yes, the Japanese didn't ever operate a 15-inch gun, did they?
I think there's. I can probably check it out in archives for one, but I don't think there is even one there.
I said operate. I didn't necessarily say consider.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then they might have also operated one on a pre-dread or something, because gun calibers were wild in the 1880s, 1890s.
True.
Oh yes,
Just
this
ask the
18.
Americans.
Yes, this 18-inch 30 caliber gun.
Also, I think we were the only ones who operate 13. 13 even. Because there was the 13.2. There's a
French
couple
had
others.
13 point everything.
But I'm just saying 13 even. I think that completely meaningless title goes to us for only even 13-inch.
Which one? Sorry, I just sort of zoned out.
13-inch 40 on pre-dread of some sort.
No, that's unholy. The Japanese had a 10-inch, to my memory. That was something they
Most
used.
everybody had a 10.
Yeah, Satsuma was 10-inch by compromise because they ran out of money. But I feel like nobody would want to call the ship of the type of ship that has all her guns of the same caliber a Satsuma type rather than a Dreadnought type.
And victory will be ours.
Well, Satsuma also didn't happen to fit the Dreadnought style of propulsion.
Fair. But yeah, everybody was racing towards the all main gun battleship.
I don't like
Yeah.
that.
And
Also,
Satsuma
I
was
keep forgetting.
the Japanese mid to that attempt,
Oh, I
and
can kill the
failed.
carrier.
Bro, how slow do you have to be going in the MiG-23 to drop bombs? What?
Less than
That's all.
Mach.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
doing 600 kilometers an hour and I can't drop it.
Yes,
What
what's
else?
your Mach
What's
meter?
your
Skill issue.
Yeah. Please check TAS. That's all you need to know.
Haven't you checked my balls optical?
That ain't part of the TAS.
I don't care.
Minuscule number, too small to check. Negligible.
I'm gonna negligible my balls.
Yeah, they are negligible. That's okay. That's alright.
Suppose the next question is, does he measure airspeed in knots?
Negligible. Please change Aussie's name to that.
Oh
what is
fuck,
shelling?
negligible singular. There we go.
Yeah, but
Okay, there's a bunch of things like 20,000 yards off to the left shooting at me, which is kind of funny, but
Murdering whatever this poor destroyer is. Actually, I don't know if this is. What is that? Oh, okay. Two of those shots went too low, two of them went too high. That's incredible. Thank you, Dispersion.
Yeah.
dispersion
It's
is like
more now.
way better than it ever practically would be now.
Down!
Yes, it's way narrower, but also longer.
Yeah, but it is still like half the size of a Yamato grouping at
Yes.
max range.
Which is pretty funny.
That said, Iowa
Well,
groupings
Yamato
are still better.
needs- Technically, we still need some official 1945 data because I can't use reactivation data. I unfortunately can't use reactivation
Issue being,
data.
nobody ever bothered actually doing trials for the Iowas in the war.
Pain. Did they at least do them in like 46 or something?
Oh,
They were
I think this
basically
Uber is
unused by
about to get down Mr. President. Yep.
Eesh, that's a lot of torpedoes.
This Uber just like get down Mr. President's buddy. Alright, I am like in the thick of it. This is.
We did spot the carrier,
Press-
right?
Yes, press M if it says locate
Yes,
enemy
we can
carriers,
shoot
then
it.
we have to spot it. If it says destroy, you can destroy it. Like, destroy means
Okay.
we spotted it. Locate means we need to first locate it.
We need help over here at here.
On my way.
There's a lot. It's not like I don't. It's not super urgent. There's just a ton of things here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sail. I'm gonna just pivot my direction into.
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the Kako first of all because that's like the most threatening.
Oh, man.
Torpedo.
Sam, I took a torpedo.
I'm failing torpedo beats here at the moment.
Great. I don't even know what I ate, but it did.
Where are my frames? Oh
just-
my goodness.
Oh, it's
Wow.
Voraus.
Yeah. Wow. Holy fuck.
I'm guessing that you have an aircraft over you, or there's a lot of guns firing.
Very unhelpful. It's very hard to do anything about dodging about 20 torpedoes when suddenly the game is rubber banding like a ball.
Yes.
Like 20
Yeah.
frames rubber
What-
band.
What's happening over by ACAP is my question.
My AI gunners are spraying at something. That's the only thing I can think of.
That might contribute.
I'm gonna turn them off. Oh, yep. That didn't help much.
Okay, then there are something else. There's maybe AI, the M247s or something are opening up is my other guess.
M247s?
Keep it up
Yes.
and victory will be
That's
ours.
our base defense.
Oh my god.
Well, now it's fixed.
No,
Yeah,
no.
now I'm back to like 50 frames.
Oh yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
issue itself is an optimization limit. That thing needs to die.
Attack him!
Jordan, you
Something-
did make sure to respawn with a different ammo load, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Something just took out a turret.
I just dropped a salvo of HE.
Fair enough.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna need help over here. Like, I'm
I-
okay, it's just a lot of things.
I am recovering from the torpedo hit. Well, I'm actually kind of okay from it, but now I have to fight this guy, so...
I mean, I'm just gonna get whittled down. Oh, yep. Oh,
I should have spawned next to you lot.
I don't know what is the most pressing target here, because everything's shooting me. I'm just gonna get rid of the squishy things first.
Shoot the things that, yeah, you can kill faster.
Yeah.
That way you have less guns on you, because Congo's worst nightmare is, oddly enough, not other battleships. Well, it's pretty bad, but...
It's a dozen
it's
Benson class.
It's mostly HE spam, ironically. Or-
Yeah, I noticed.
It's the joke
Oh,
about a dozen
fuck, I'm like-
Bensons.
Gun breaches are...
I was thinking one Atlanta.
Well, I say Benson because Laffy.
Right. I say Atlanta because it's population efficient, spawn efficient.
Yes, but
What do you mean shell splat? What?
Atlanta didn't do as good a job against EA as
To be fair, Atlanta didn't generally do a good job.
I have like no turrets left. This is kind of a problem.
I think her most notable achievement is sailing
Nah,
in
you're
front of
fine.
San
Don't
Francisco.
worry about
No,
it.
San Francisco.
well, San Francisco decided to shoot Atlanta.
Yes, but wasn't that because Atlanta got torped and basically her entire everything was she couldn't control herself, so she just sailed into a salvo.
Yo, can someone shoot this guy, please?
Target.
Alti,
Yes.
one
If anyone's in
salvo
the area.
is not 27 8-inch shells.
I mean, I don't know how many guns are on an American cruiser.
San
I
Fran
guess
started
you-
shooting and didn't stop until somebody happened to look about 400 yards away and see, oh, that's ours.
Attack and
Right, but they were already engaged with another opponent, right? Like they basically sailed into a gunfight.
They targeted Atlanta on the radar and went, that looks Japanese.
How do you identify a Japanese ping?
No, they pinged it on the radar and then looked out and
I
said,
know.
there's a Japanese-looking silhouette over there.
Back.
Well,
Well, anyway, I
does
started blasting.
Atlanta even look Japanese? Yeah, does Atlanta even look Japanese? Is my
Well, I
question.
found
I'm
Agizuki's.
having difficulty really wrapping my head around that one. How did they even come to terms with
Is there a way you can tell your AI gunners to target something?
X plus number? 1, 2, 3. 1 is primaries, 2 is secondaries, 3 is AA.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, the carrier's still alive.
Yes.
Also, you say we're
Yeah.
nowhere near
Bring
the
my
Coral
AI
Sea.
gunners to just...
Aren't we on the other side of it?
Opti, look in the
Yes.
middle of the grid square directly above our boat spawn in G3.
Oh, we are there. We are right there. Cool. That's pretty cool. I'm happy to hear.
Oh man, fuck! My turret's getting
Okay.
damaged, messed up my ripple firing.
Like, I thought the fight really pretty much started and ended in the north part of this island.
It was more
What was
the east part.
Fair.
What is fucking shooting me now?
A lot of
Honestly,
things, probably. Just keep firing.
I'll
Well,
find
no,
you-
like, I finally dealt with one of the fuckers that was killing me, and now I'm being shot by like 3 other things.
Yeah, I mean, you're right next to their spawn, so... Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I thought I had dealt... Oh, here comes a torp. Oh, fuck, my AI gunners were set to the wrong thing!
The truth of pushing is that it's always going to be chaos. You just sort of accept that.
Fuck, I'm gonna get torped.
It's a battle of introducing chaos to the system and hoping that your chaos is less damaging
Hey,
than
that
chaos
torp
you
did
inflict on
exactly
others.
1% crew, hell yeah.
crap. But yeah, the goal of pushing is to be chaos. So you wreak mayhem and chaos to them, and you're going to experience a proportional amount of mayhem and chaos.
Notice. What is the priority target here?
I'm just gonna save that once I finish.
Okay, this guy is.
What?
I'm gonna record. I wasn't recording. I'm so mad.
Hurts again.
Are you kidding me?
You weren't recording?
Did you see that? Did you at least have Shadow play?
I killed one of them.
Shadow play, motherfucker. Shadow play that shit.
I
right
don't.
now.
I'm not.
I was gonna say, I'm recording, and I was looking
But you
vaguely
weren't
in your
here.
direction, so I might have seen it. I was tabbed out.
Did you screenshot, Pete? Did you screenshot?
No.
Oh, I'm so mad. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through replay. Somebody remind me.
Dude, it's... Holy shit, dude.
Comedy. That was so fucking hilarious. They
Um,
spawned hand over fist on each other.
And then one of them fell over and,
One of them insta-died, and the other one, I killed.
It wasn't insta.
Yes,
Wasn't
yes. He spawned with that guy. He spawned, and the other guy spawned, then he died. And the other guy fucking...
Yeah, I know. I know the other guy got killed by you because he was, completely fucked.
That was comedy. I'm so mad that the recording was off. Big mad.
Okay, I've got my turrets back. Now I can make
Alright,
this.
D is actually the closest spawn to me, or point to me.
Yeah,
regret
pushing
being
me.
born.
So the idea is that we have one guy pushing or harassing one cap, and then the other people just harass other caps, right?
Yeah. My objective...
So Fish right now is creating mayhem at A.
I switched to APHU on accident.
Aw.
We're fine.
My objective at the moment is push nose towards the D point, and
Oh, that was a bit of
support to the left.
Getting peppered to death slowly here, but
There is a Japanese-looking light cruiser straight ahead of me at 18,000 yards.
Wait, yeah, we are dueling. Oh, that one.
Yeah, it's a Mogami hull.
Okay, I'm shooting the Sendai.
a Mogami. I
Noted.
saw it in the kill feed earlier.
Or is it a...
It's not
I
a
don't know.
Mogami because it's a light cruiser.
He quit. He fucking
What?
rage
There
quit.
is a Mogami somewhere.
He fucking rage quit.
Irby is the one I'm looking at. Is,
Okay, I don't remember who I was shooting at.
way over there.
Attack him!
He fucking quit.
Engaging the enemy.
Yeah.
The 7YFEE2WDP guy rage
Guy
quit.
at 90% crew. Are you kidding me?
Who?
The fucking. Well, I've run out of crew.
You just respawn and you repeat that cycle, and you'll notice that you're going to just get an obscene amount of damage.
Just
You
remember to
keep
change your ammo load.
Yes, just
Yeah,
change it.
Something else first.
You can even just adjust the ammo quantity in the Congo itself. That works just as well.
As in, just drop a salvo of something or add a salvo of something.
Yep.
I'm
Wait.
just alternate.
Does that prevent the damage
Yes, it
bug?
does. It does.
Yeah.
Correct.
Ah. Alright, I'll be right back.
Victory will be ours.
Yeah, I pinged you with the Operation Rooms videos on Coral Sea,
Nice.
which are very informative with regards to seeing what's going on, because they're all overhead animations.
Nice.
And I think Yakety Sax is the appropriate music to accompany it.
They were still figuring out carrier ops at the time, weren't they?
Yeah, but that's not what's funny about it. It's, we think the Japanese are over here. Japanese think the Americans are over there. The Americans go left, the Japanese go left as well, but their left, not our left, so you basically end up with these two carrier fleets going the opposite direction to each other, and then sort of realizing, hang on, turning around, missing each other by 60 miles.
Yep.
And
There
then-
was, how should I describe it? This is why in the post-war, so when Japan and the United States convened post-war to discuss the Pacific War
yeah.
and lessons learned, one of the big things on the table, two of the four things,
Somebody attack
were
him.
regards to reconnaissance and counter-reconnaissance
Yeah.
as major decisive factors to the outcome of
Somebody
battles.
attack him.
When one side had a significant reconnaissance advantage, it correlated heavily with high success in battle. And not only that, but then the degree of the success was greater for the better recon.
Yeah.
And the difference in recon also exacerbated that or exemplified that more heavily. Of course, that means to contrast that, counter reconnaissance is just as important. So eliminating the enemy's ability to conduct reconnaissance is just as important.
Such as shooting out the PBYs.
Yep. And in cases where reconnaissance was poor on both sides, limited in some capacity, such as Coral Sea or Midway even had that, you'll notice that the situation is a lot more volatile and casualties are a lot more strenuous.
Yeah,
It's
because Midway was very much a lucky luck.
Clusterfuck, to put it mildly.
Well, I just mean that, McCluskey's group happened to just see a destroyer that was going to turn around and go back to the fleet after having attempted to deal with an American submarine.
Oh yeah, but it's and then we have cases like Surigao, which shows an overwhelmingly advantageous reconnaissance for the Americans.
Precisely where they're going to be, what they're going to be, and how they're going to get there.
And by contrast, Kurita's fleet is effectively blind, having been deplaned and forced to go radio silent.
Yeah.
This is part of why Samar was such a the reason why Kurita even bailed from Samar,
because he had no idea what was going on.
A lack of recon led to tactical and strategic misplays, essentially. That led to an entire landing group being saved and Halsey's misplay being spared, essentially. And but that's kind of the point. It's huge.
I found an enemy capital ship.
Oh boy, which one?
Where and what?
Kalpun. He's just like out of the A point. Ikoma.
Oh, that's food. Just murderize him.
No, I know, it's sad, because he's got another Sharnhorse coming to attack him.
Crap.
Oh,
the other, I guess, to equalize from Surigao, we also have Savo Island, which is the example of the Japanese.
The Americans not knowing how to night fight.
Yeah, well, that's a significant reconnaissance advantage for the Japanese, essentially.
That guy was disturbingly close.
But you can kind of see how that dynamic plays out. It's a very consistent dynamic across every part of the theater, pretty much universally, and pretty much always true. Like, there hasn't really been a case where that's contrary to the truth, i.e., where one side has a recon disadvantage and
that's an easy
turns
time.
the tides. Yeah. No one really sees that.
No.
And so that
knowing
was
is half the battle.
Yeah, and the other, I guess, I said four, but technically that fourth one is implicit. It's carriers. Everybody knew that. The Japanese were planning that. And then
Carriers just happened to be great for extending strike range and for recon.
Yeah, it was just an extension of the concept of a capital ship anyways. You're just changing it from artillery to bombers,
Yeah.
But
They're
the
also
rules are still
typically faster.
Yep. It's great. It's also more precise
to be faster.
and more devastating. There's so many advantages. It's just kind of crazy.
And the carrier itself has to be faster because taking planes off and things.
Oh yeah.
But that catapult has kind of negated that necessity.
The other thing is, but the third thing, the third actual lesson was counter reconnaissance. Anti-submarine warfare. And this one was something that, especially the Japanese, brought to the table, saying that
Can I say it would be really nice if I had functioning hydrophones?
That would be nice. That would be pretty cool, yeah.
So I just sailed onto a torpedo. Like, I dodged it, sailed over the back of it, and it exploded.
To be fair, most of the time, hydrophones were...
Hydrophones are better than giving me 20 yards notice of a half a dozen torpedoes coming at me.
Fair, but long lances were very
I'm not talking
quiet.
about lances, I'm getting torped by German destroyers.
Fair. And those are the compressed air ones
And
as
you
well.
sawed off!
Send him a welcome gift.
Yeah, I am, but he's torping me before I have the ability to shoot him.
Understandable.
Keep hammering away at him if I can.
Technically, I should be the one doing that, when I think about it. And you should switch to shooting this Atlanta for me.
Where's the Atlanta?
Keep it up and victory will be
I'm
ours.
already pummeling him. It's just... Yeah, there's just... If he shoots the Atlanta and I shoot the destroyer, we're actually playing our roles a little better, essentially.
Okay. Go ahead.
If the anti-cruiser ship shoots the cruisers and the anti-destroyer ship shoots destroyers, yes.
Essentially, yeah.
True.
Where is the enemy destroyer?
Oh, this Yugure is about to do the funny and flip over after taking no damage at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna stop and prepare to start shooting that thing.
Approximately how long spawn protection?
I think it's like 5 seconds, if even. I've shot them.
Okay. Long enough for him to launch an entire salvo of torpedoes at me.
Yeah, he can definitely get some actions done, strike actions and
I mean,
stuff like that.
it also helps that German destroyers have better torp angles than anything on the Japanese tree, apparently.
Except for maybe Udachi. Udachi has pretty good torp angles.
So Yuguri.
Yeah, there it goes.
You
Torp
got torp
angle
angles
of
are
none.
yeah.
And infinity.
Oh,
I kind of feel bad.
don't feel bad. That thing.
Oh, I see a Kako-shaped
And
object.
you sawed off.
I think, yeah, it's a Kako.
That one is. I'm gonna shoot the destroyer. You shoot the cruiser.
The Etna that just killed itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
He followed the advice of the black man with lightning.
Damn it. The destroyer still had spawn protection.
I got some damage on him. His engines are fucked.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
oh, this is gonna be
Optical.
It's
Move now.
Why?
What? Who?
Optical.
What do you mean
Torps.
move now? Where?
Attack the
Your
I don't see.
left. They just got dropped. Destroyer. Move.
Oh, I have
on.
time. Yeah, 1 second.
I'm trying
Let
to
me just
outrun torpedoes.
Yeah, let me just first get a salvo off on this
Keep the
guy.
pressure on. Victory is close.
And this guy.
Is this guy even moving?
Like, because torpedoes at whatever range he's at, he's not even aiming at me, my dude. What are you talking about? He's
Oh,
literally
I
looking
found
the
the
other
enemy
way.
carrier.
He's looking the other way.
He wasn't.
He dropped 1 torpedo. I can see only 1 empty tube.
Hey, I'm sinking despite me having a hole in my rear.
Don't worry.
I mean, I saw it happen, so that's why I said something.
Singular torpedo.
And I just put a salvo into this guy who's been alive for a good 30 seconds, and it just went straight
Why
through.
you don't just like stop moving?
I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
can
if I-
definitely stop moving.
No, I
Ah,
don't. Like,
Torpedoes.
bloody hell.
no. The dude was just like sitting in his spawn, like not moving broadside. So I just put 8 rounds directly into his
Oh,
ammo.
yeah.
Fucking
Good
rubber
for
banding, man.
Dealing with
Oh, I see the Ecoma. Where do I shoot the Ecoma?
Anywhere.
Particular?
anywhere.
Anywhere.
I just ate a torp from something. Alright. I will do as you say and shoot it anywhere.
It's, yeah,
Everywhere.
center mass is machinery and secondaries, and then turrets is turrets. There's nowhere you won't fuck it up, which is the great thing about it.
Cool.
The torpedo didn't even come this way. I'm pretty sure he even launched it in the other direction.
Oh, you've been shooting at me for a while now, haven't you?
Oh, I screwed up my
Hmm.
So if anybody happens to be paying attention to this in future, do please tell me how many torpedoes I just ate.
I don't think I've noticed to count. Why is the carrier spawn behind
Probably
us?
because-
Dunno, I'm shooting it though.
Yeah,
all
just
4 of our damage
wait, hold
numbers.
I'm just sitting here repairing.
Look at our 4 damage numbers. It's impressive.
Yeah,
When the damage is impressive.
Victory will be ours.
Sorry.
Dude, the top like 10 people on our team have more damage than the other team. That's kind of funny.
Am I blind? Where did the carrier go?
I took out one of the Ecoma's turrets. Oh dang. Can you ammo? You can ammo the Ecoma, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Pretty easy. You just aim under the turrets, I think, and it's
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to hit.
World
Oh,
War One arm
you-
layout.
Freaking, you know the destroyers that I was complaining about?
Yes.
They now spawn in front of me,
Oh. How
like
convenient.
right off Heat's butt.
That is extra convenient.
Yeah, except now I have to turn my guns around so I can do something about them. And I'm
I think I
allowed to
might
eat
die
another
here.
half a dozen torps.
That would be unfortunate.
Or more.
You have the spawn points to take another shard.
I have enough spawn points to almost take 3.
Crap.
Yep.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I have enough for 2.5 Congos at the moment.
Make that 3.
Torpedo.
There
Almost
we
3
go.
actually.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
Alright, Ecoma's been ammoed.
Vault. 1, 2,
You
3,
burn.
4, 5, 6 torps that just missed. Oh, good.
Oh my god, yeah, now there's a Sharn, like, inside their spawn as well.
Oh, here goes my crew.
Going down rapidly.
Ah, there it is.
Oh,
Damn.
and I see a Yugure flipping over.
Well,
In classic Yugure fashion.
when you do sink and explode, if you could kindly do something about the enemy carrier.
I'm doing that, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm farming him out.
Alright, what are my spawn points like?
How is Sikoma not sank yet? Fuck? Boink.
I have 1,700 spawn points.
Sikoma's entire front end is under the water. Fucking sink already.
Yes,
Where's where carrier?
Yeah, but he's still
I'm shooting
floating.
behind
Actually,
me.
he's coming. I think he's coming back up.
Alright, I spawn in Zona.
location.
Okay.
We want somebody to actually push into D or C though. That's the goal right
Trying.
now. Oh yeah, no, it's just a general direction to go. So
Somebody
There
spotted it
are-
yet?
yes,
Yes,
it's spotted.
been spotted.
Peppering it.
That's
pretty much
Sikoma is
just,
somehow still
HP
alive.
added,
This
so you
Sikoma's
get more HP.
alive.
Sorry, money. The only reason to really farm the carrier is money.
Sikoma's like refloating himself after being half underwater.
There are so many destroyers and so many torpedoes.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be sitting here stationary, like outside their spawn. But
If you're outside the point, then they can't really do anything about it.
true. They're capping. Well, I don't care. We don't need
Make sure
to
you notice how much nacelle did you get from that salvo?
Me?
Oh no, because he's shooting the carrier. I think.
No, I'm not yet.
There we go. Finally fucking died.
Make sure you fire HE so you can farm it for longer rather than AP, which will sink it faster and thus make less money.
You see what I'm in?
You may have. Do you not have a Helen or something to your farm? with?
Need correction.
You see what I'm in?
I see what you're in. Do you not have a flipped Helena?
No?
Unfortunate. You can make a good like few hundred K off of this thing alone, like just off the carriers, and you can easily make a mill by just farming it with Helena HE.
What the
Noted.
fuck are you?
I mentioned this because you were struggling for money on, and yeah, these things are they're pretty good for money.
Just a little more.
I'm glad
Why
that
did
I'm
that fire only
outspeeding
one round?
salvos. Oh, hello.
Something large spawned in the back. Is that a Northampton?
My turret tube kindly turn.
Large.
Shit. My time of not being shot at has ended.
Commencing attack.
So true.
We are sinking. Yeah,
Fun while it lasts. Boink! There's something very small coming at me and I feel bad.
Your 25s exist for a reason.
Okay.
No, very I mean, it's just a destroyer, but like, I still feel bad because it's a destroyer.
I'm coming.
I'm about to deposit a fucking big round in his face.
Me.
Unless his friend eats the round for him, which actually might happen. Hold on.
I mean, Vish, don't feel too bad. One.
I don't.
'Cause I just took out like 5 or 6 destroyers that just decided they were going to keep spawning inside me.
Oh, there goes it somewhere.
Including 2 torp kills.
Nice.
Fuck off. Okay, now this is actually getting... What is this shooting at me? There's a Northampton, but there's like 2 other things that I can't see.
There's a Moffat
Somebody.
Oh, and that.
over
Like,
there.
burning it. Can someone attack this thing? I'm pretty sure that's a Northampton. It's actually annoying.
I can't
now.
see
Needs-
that at the moment. There's a
Alright,
small
I need to start.
landmass in
I
the
need
way.
to start moving again. There's also another Kako.
Somebody attack him.
I'm not too worried about the Kako. I want to get rid of that Northampton.
planes.
A little more effort, and victory will be ours.
Ooh, I got 3 lions for assisting a Moffat kill.
So true.
Shut up!
Oofy.
So true, Rumpy.
Why is that carrier not dead yet?
I'm just farming. I'm milking it. I don't want to kill it yet.
Ugh.
Damn it.
My apologies. Oh, it's at 10% now. Big sad.
Did you just say my apologies?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I am cheese to meet them.
Okay, yep, I just took that Northampton from 100 to 34 crew in one solo.
Yeah.
Yep. There's like something else shooting at me and it's lagging. Oh, it's a fucking Mikuma there. That's actually very annoying, because
Herbie?
every time he
Herbie.
shoots me, I lag.
Kongo's guns are actually very well suited to kill Mikuma. The SAP
it's
nestles perfectly inside the ship.
Every time his salvos hit me, I lag, is the problem.
Fair,
well
but
as
if there's a target to aim for, that it's that Mikuma. Just even in general, if it's not even shooting at you.
Yeah, I'm just putting one more salvo into this Northampton, because he should die in one more hit.
Victory will surely be easy.
Or maybe 2 more hits.
Swag gamer.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
It
Does
says
it do?
SW gamer, and it's like swag gamer.
Oh, I just assumed it was Star Wars.
Oh. YOLO Swag Gaming. It's the same comic from the writer of YOLO Swag Studios. You know the guy, right?
Hopefully.
When this match is over, you're going to bed.
Have you guys not seen YOLO Swag Studios?
No.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm just probably being retarded.
Cream of Dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of torps. Move.
Let me,
The victory will be ours.
I fucking love that. I
Okay,
forgot that's what it was called. Yellow Swag Studios.
Fish is
Pussy's
doing his best impression of a honky tonk.
he
Hmm?
Bussy stole the election.
So true.
Yeah. Wait. There's this one checkpoint. Please checkpoint.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
Sorry.
Oh, I've entered the get shot by everything in existence zone again. Fuck! My bridge.
That's so good.
YOLO Swag Studios is great.
There is no way you have enough crew to repair again. Fuck off.
I look forward to Japan preemptively striking enemy island bases.
Same
It's
thing.
defensive in nature.
Okay, now I'm going to touch this Mikuma inappropriately.
Defensive in nature, the same way invading Ukraine was. Yeah.
Yeah. The difference is that the only thing that I think is reasonable to conduct as a military operation in Japan is budget cuts for the JGSTF again. Remember, this is the country that had 2 men die due to the inability for officers to order their men to fire or to cease firing, effectively meaning that they can never fire under any circumstances during a peacekeeping operation.
Yeah, meaning
And then
they are just dummies.
They're liabilities, in fact, because they are unable, they have to be protected by other UN forces. And the Japanese diet went, this is a great success, this is the model we'll use for future UN peacekeeping operations.
What they did?
Yes, the Myanmar incident, which caused the loss of 2 JSDF members, was regarded as a resounding success.
Oh, come on, please. Yes!
Basically, Japan's
First elbow,
Rwanda,
get fucked, idiot.
you know,
It's worth
Where-
remembering that Japan fired an admiral for not winning hard enough.
yeah, that was during the Pacific War.
It's a
though.
different
No, I
Japan.
know.
Yeah,
Legally, yes.
Is that another Northampton?
Yeah, culturally.
well, structurally is a better way to describe it because it's
Well,
culturally
culturally
is a
too.
different.
Well,
Have you studied the?
The cultural shift is a different issue with this because it's the issue with regards to why that was a problem was more to do with nepotism, and ultimately in terms of like that particular case, it would be a case of a toxic work culture, I guess, but it is ultimately due to the result of the structure of the military system at the time. The structure of the military system would be more
Also
closer
worth
to what
noting
the
it
modern
was
Russian state is like. essentially,
Yamamoto
where-
fired him directly.
Was it? I thought he died by then.
No,
Are we talking about the same guy?
Admiral
I'm talking
Abe.
about- Oh, no, I'm talking about somebody else. I'm talking about a guy, a destroyer captain who,
I was talking about Admiral Abe, who was the one in command at Guadalcanal. with the loss
Okay,
of Hiei?
I was talking about one of the most successful destroyer captains of the Pacific War, who was removed from his post for not winning hard enough.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You know what really
I
sucks
believe
about
part
Abba,
of that
though?
was because he undertook
What?
rescue efforts,
Alright,
essentially. So when he undertook rescue efforts, they went, "Why didn't you kill them dead?" And he's like,
Engage
"Into the water."
Who am I? Who the fuck are you? Oh, he's already in.
Yeah, it's more of a structural issue with regards to expectations and demands within the military itself. Because, don't get me wrong, there's cultural vestiges of the Pacific War that carried into the modern military, but more importantly, the way that we structure the military in Japan is so foundationally different now. It is nothing like what it used to
Well,
be.
that's what I was saying. Is the culture
that's
changed a
not the-
lot.
The culture changed a lot, but this particular issue is unrelated to that. That's just a structural failure.
Yeah, literally the
essentially.
hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the reform to that structure, which was just a policy shift,
Fuck, I
resolved a lot of that. In fact, part of that was the adoption of the principle, which is essentially the policy of civilian above all. So any civilian government official sort of by default has a higher rank for their equal position in government. They already outrank the proportional military body, just as a default. So
Wow, this guy really
this
doesn't
is the-
know
As in
that
somebody
he can
of-
fire well on the move.
Somebody of a given pay grade has a higher seniority if he's a civilian elected official than if he's a military officer, is what you're saying.
Yes, and effectively, the military always ultimately answers to the government.
Yes.
And
The issue
it's
is when they
subordinate.
decided to make the government the military.
Well, yeah, that was the problem was that Japan did adopt a constitutional monarchy and was a democracy. Of course, it was.
Lost it.
Well, yeah. The problem was that the reason that they could toss it was because they had these infrastructural failures, notably in the fact that the military answered to the emperor and the diet answered to the emperor, and now they kind of still do in
But-
terms of ceremonially, but practically
They need to
don't,
answer
right?
to the diet first, because the issue is that the government couldn't actually do anything about the military because they were co-evil.
Yeah, the problem is that since the military also had raw political power, just because with that sort of meandering, there was no real checks and balances on having people in government, elected officials being military men.
Yeah. And what's even worse is the army and navy were separate.
Yes, well, that was a compromise on the clan system, essentially.
Yeah.
You have the Satsuma and the Choshu, and they're very rich and very powerful, and they win you the war, and you go, okay, now disarm. They're gonna go, no, right? So you just sort of tell them, now you are our nation's military, essentially. You rebrand them.
Just the issue being that they made
multiple times. Yeah, multiple times through the post-Boshin era in the Meiji Restoration, there were real risks of the army and the navy going to war with each other and engaging in hostilities. There were multiple assassinations from both sides upon each other's personnel and politicians and intellectuals, and this is still during the quote-unquote actually democratic days, because this was still a bit more clandestine stuff. Not the shooting people and stabbing people in the open air markets quite yet, although there still were some of those. In fact, there were some of that before the Boshin War even. But ultimately, the
stabbing each
culture...
other in the markets, it kind of just sort of been a traditional behavior.
Crap. Japan actually lost a ton of intellectuals to that. One of Japan's first great political theorists of the modern era was stabbed outside of his home.
That's about right.
Yep. And I mean,
is anybody gonna support me pushing A point, or am I just gonna sit here and eat torpedoes for eternity?
I was until I just died. I'm heading back.
I am sailing
Probably shouldn't have
roughly
spawned
towards
at this
D,
one, though.
but I am also just...
Be prepared to eat torps from everybody spawning in it.
Yeah, I got whittled down slowly.
I'm going vaguely
that's
in the
neat
A
though, man.
direction.
I'm heading back that way though.
But if you run something like stringent expectations, demands, and sort of zero tolerance for failure is still very much a part of modern Japanese society. So like that part of the didn't win hard enough is still there. It's just that the nature of that critique has changed and shifted to more realistic baselines and posts. Mainly because the policy shift allowed for a reassignment and reassessment of goals, basically. So I wouldn't call that case cultural so much as...
Oh, damn it.
So,
that's
it's
my
not you don't get fired for... it's not you get fired for
Somebody attack him.
not running hard enough, now it's you get fired for not making peace hard enough.
You get fired
Still
for not
winning.
making enough money, basically.
Destroy the
Yeah,
target.
like the difference
Just
is
they
that...
redefined what constitutes as a win con.
Yeah, for example, Japan in wartime, we noticed, had very, very strict deadlines and quotas for logistics. This worked very well for rapid action and quick movement. They had a very reactive army, and if you notice the opening days in, say, Burma and China, they took significant amounts of terrain in the opening phases. This was very useful. However, the moment things start going out of the plan's scope, they start to struggle, right? They had to adapt. They had to sort of the backlog started to add up, and it really started to pay. They started to pay the price later. It started compounded. Relatively strict margins on logistics they're definitely better accounted for now, but they haven't really been changed in certain aspects of that thing died way faster than I expected. Very, very strict deadlines, very strict expectations for performance and quotas is still a part of Japanese work culture. That part has not left. If anything, it's become more identitarian. One of the most significant innovations in the automotive industry, for example, came out of Japan, and that was one where so it used to be, way back in the day, like 1950s, so you know how Henry Ford created the assembly line and
And this is where
Early
you get
factories.
lean and just-on-time manufacturing and everything.
Yes. However, that system had a lot of issues with surplus and inefficiencies because everything was made in the same building, essentially. And you kind of built things with a preemptive quota of what you expect to sell and what you expect to make as a result.
But
And
nowadays
so you always
have a dozen
surplus.
subcontractors.
Well, so what Japan did was they introduced a system where they would pretty much just make a car on demand. If you need a car, we'll make a car. And we'll make it when you ask for it, essentially. So an order comes in for like 10,000 cars, and they're going to be shipped to like, I don't know, California. That order comes in to Tokyo, then tells Toyota branch, and then they have a whole bunch of different separate companies that specialize in making specific components of specific parts of the car. And they then all make that instantly. Then they all send that to that central assembly plant, and then that gets shipped out. And it's a far more adaptive and dynamic system, but it relies on being
Infrastructure.
tight-knit and very sort of, it's fairly rigid. It doesn't really work well with shock because it needs everything to work together. And it has become the global model since, like, everybody uses that style or a derivative of that style in automobile manufacturing, where we basically just do demand-based production of cars. It is because it is so much more efficient, but the issue is that it requires that all the parts within move smoothly and within very strict quote, like
It's also
very strict.
Very
Very
easy to
strict.
screw with little man.
Yeah, it's very expensive to set this up, but everybody has to work together and everybody has to do things to the team, essentially, because what you make affects what the other guy's gonna can do, right?
Yeah.
And in that sense, that rigidity hasn't really changed. But it is very optimized towards efficiency. It creates a very, very efficient and very profitable market, and it's part of. It is actually a huge part of why Japanese companies outcompeted American ones, because they could make these very, very good cars at very low prices because they wouldn't be paying so much for overhead.
And radios.
Yeah.
So say, is anybody actually doing anything about taking advantage of this massive opening that I'm creating by just occupying the entire enemy team in this port?
I would love to.
There's a ton of people
can't.
there, but I don't know what they're doing. I'm on the way back because I fucked up and forgot to do my switch spawn, so I had like double reload, had to
Yeah.
respawn again.
I'm presently
I'm over.
killing an Ecoma with only one turret. Make that no turrets.
You killed a Kiyoshima, that's ironic. With a torpedo hole.
I dumped torps at some point, and apparently just happened to run into one. I have no guns left.
Oof.
Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Well, I can't really repair because I'm getting volley of fired from this Ikuma's secondaries that are right next to me.
You'll be fine.
I'll sail over to A.
I was planning on going to A. We're losing the G point.
I'm going as fast as I can. Which is not very fast, but I'm still going.
But yeah, the current Japanese work culture is arguably what it used to be back in the Meiji era and the Taisho and the Showa.
It's just
in a lot of
they
places.
changed the objective.
Yeah, in a sense they didn't. They just changed the method of achieving it. So, one thing about post-war Japan is that the primary reason Japan went to attack everybody in Asia Pacific
It's money.
it was a Hail Mary, basically. It was essentially resource security, for lack of a better term. And the callousness of that statement cannot be understated because 20 million people died because Japan wanted to secure its borders.
And its economy.
Yeah, the main thing is that Japan basically determined that its security being tied to Asia Pacific and its economics being tied to Asia Pacific, but its economic leverage not being very competitive, forced it into a position where it would need to achieve it through military. Of course, in reality, that's not really true. The total lists are a bit delusional, but the point is that that was the logic they were running with. So they decided that we want resource security, we'll achieve it via military conquest. And if you think about it from a macroscopic demographic perspective, that's one option. It's, I guess you could say it's a geopolitically, quote-unquote, valid option for a nation to pursue military action. Of course, whether that is morally valid or whether that's practically valid is a different story. But anyways, the point is that they decided to take the military option. The United States this is a pretty not good idea. We have holdings in the Philippines and we have investments in China, and we don't want these things compromised by the Japanese pushing into Asia Pacific and pushing us out. So they had a policy which was essentially a 90-degree door on Japan, and that was part of Plan Orange. In fact, that was the policy with Plan Orange. It was triggered essentially by a security policy Congress had, which would involve containing Japanese expansion. And a 90-degree door is the idea that when one door opens, the other one closes. So when the America opens the door to Asia Pacific, it closes for Japan, right? When that door was swung the other way, or attempted to be swung the other way by Japan, America pushed back pretty darn hard, and they learned to push back. They started to struggle first because the Japanese were, on the offensive. And Guadalcanal was expensive. They didn't like Guadalcanal. It was very pricey. However, Guadalcanal taught them some important things about logistics and the plans of war. And those things America looked at and said, we like this, we'll stick with this. More importantly, though, America learned about just bombing the shit out of every island and skipping the islands they didn't want to deal with. So, rather than fight the enemy head-to-head, just bomb the fuck out of them and get the fuck out, right? And that worked wonderfully. So America just bombed Japan and didn't have to fight them on the ground. And when
Mostly
Japan
because fighting Japan on the ground sucks.
yeah, absolutely terrible. It's a horrible time, unless you're playing video games, and it's really fun because jungle combat is very vertical. But
But nobody has ever successfully invaded Japan that I'm aware of.
not on the ground, no. Yeah, it's technically one did. The Yayoi people did.
Words vibes. They died in a tornado.
No, Yayoi people are the people
I'm
who migrated over from Korea and pushed out the Jomon people. So basically, the people who became the Japanese migrated to Japan and pushed out some other people who are like proto-Japanese. I don't know whether people call them Japanese or not at this point, but the Japanese government kind of co-opted them as Japanese, I suppose. Of course, they're not the Yamato people, they're the Jomon, but they are, like, a Japanese government has taken pride in Jomon pottery being the world's first case of pottery.
They're the Japanese in the same case that you could consider the Britons English.
fair. They are the native Japanese, is a better way to describe it. They are the first people on the Japanese archipelago that we know
First
of.
time comment.
Yeah, I guess them and the Ainu, and if you consider Okinawa part of Japan, then the Ryukyu people would also be some of the first.
What if we consider Taiwan part of Japan?
That wouldn't. I mean, that's pretty darn south, and arguably the indigenous peoples of Taiwan / Formosa / whatever you call it are
The big
not even
line,
Chinese. They are, they're indigenous. The native Taiwanese are a very different set of people. There's like 50 different ethnicities on Taiwan that aren't Chinese or Dutch or Portuguese, or Japanese even, because there was a period of pre-conquest Japanese settlement in Taiwan as well. It was a very interesting. The history of Taiwan is very interesting, and part of why the Ming.
Surge Boy has spawned. I think it's Ecom again.
So part of why Taiwan became Chinese is actually because the Dutch wanted cheap, easy labor. The Chinese didn't really give a shit about Taiwan for a long time, and then the Dutch colonized Taiwan, and they learned that while the lovely open plains were a great place to grow, I believe it was like fucking bananas or some shit. Or was it textile? Something, right? They had some facilities, plantations to grow something and have it processed. I think it might have been cotton or sugar then. I'm not sure. Whatever the fuck it was. It was profitable because these great fertile plains, but there are these headhunters in the mountains and in the forests.
Yeah.
And they don't take too kindly to strangers. And so you can't hire them, but these sorts of plantations and manufactories are very labor intensive. There is this gigantic kingdom to the west of Taiwan with lots of readily available and able labor, and some of them are educated and literate, and so there's this ability to run a communication system with some managerial Chinese people and some labor Chinese people, with the Dutch taking all the profit because colony. What happened was they slowly brought over Chinese people to work, and I think at one point a bad harvest happened. And the Dutch essentially just refused to pay the Chinese. The Chinese fought back and kicked the Dutch out. And then at some point, the Ming shattering happened, the collapse happened, and the Ming dynasty fled to where else but Taiwan.
Yeah.
And to my memory, that's how Taiwan started to acquire a Chinese status. And from there it's history, I suppose. But and through that period, we also have the Japanese expanding their colonial sort of settlements they had settlements in Siam and Taiwan, in the Philippines, in Indonesia, Malaysia, Burma, Vietnam.
Indonesia?
Yes, there was the Red Seal ships. So Japan actually was on the path to becoming a colonial empire in the similar fold to the Portuguese, the Spanish, the British. They actually fought the Spanish alongside the English in the Philippines.
It's worth noting
Someone
that
fucking
closing.
get rid of this Mikuma-shaped object.
And there was another case of the Portuguese attacking the Chinese and with wacko pirates as their mercenaries, for example.
If someone can deal with this Mikuma, I'm gonna start pushing into A, like, proper.
I am still a ways away, but I'll be happy to help.
Which era is this? Like,
this is the 1600s. So Japan was, I think, after the Second Great Unification. So under Toyotomi Hideyoshi, right? He wanted to build his connections and expand Japan's influence outward, and so he sent out Red Seal ships.
And then he got killed.
Then Korea happened, and then he died of illness, and then Tokugawa Ieyasu came to power, and Tokugawa Ieyasu actually was still interested in Red Seal ships and communication with Europe and an expansion of that influence. And then the Nagasaki Rebellion happened, where the Japanese Christians
got the door, locked it, and swallowed the key.
Not him, his grandson. Yes. His grandson got spooked by a Christian rebellion. Thought the Jesuits were plotting to overthrow. So what?
So what you're saying is he did what any decent military despot does.
In a sense, but this is arguably a big mistake in the sense of what we see in hindsight out of colonialism. Of course, it isn't, because Japan doesn't have. I mean, they do have a colonial stain, but it came much later. They would have gotten a colonial stain from being the colonial power in East Asia.
The difference is the colonial stain of Japan came from rape and murder of half of China.
Yes, the difference is they just do that earlier rather than later.
Yeah, but
maybe not China proper, but places like the Philippines would
they might
definitely be a
have.
playground.
It might have gone differently if they hadn't arrived that late in the playbook.
Yes, well, yeah, I guess that was one of the things about the Japanese ultranationals, and they were dissatisfied with being the have-nots, but they basically had the have on an open platter that they just sort of shunned. It's not like they shunned it immediately. Like, again, Hideyoshi and Ieyasu both welcomed the concept and the prospect, and they were keenly aware of colonialism as a concept for their benefit. And like I said, there were something like 70,000 at the height Japanese abroad in in colonies and settlements across East Asia.
I seem to recall that the European stance on Japan closing the country was, this is kind of helpful because the Japanese are scary.
Yes, the Spanish were actually terrified.
me.
Spanish accounts of Japanese everything. So let's start with the mercenaries. They consider the Japanese mercenaries to be both inexpensive and good fighters. You could hire them for just sufficient rice, and they would do very good jobs. Essentially, they were really good fighters.
Or
salted fish and rice. That's all you
okay,
needed to
I
pay
heard
them.
I heard sufficient rice.
Yeah, salt fish and rice, essentially. They were very
I
expensive.
heard sufficient rice as well.
Yeah, it sounds similar. The main point
Also
is that
makes sense.
the English actually hired those Japanese mercenaries to fight the Spanish.
That's
and
where
in
I had
fact,
the.
No wonder I was
so.
so slow. I was on I was on 2/3 ahead. Jesus
Amazing.
Christ!
well,
Didn't even notice. Damn.
Wait, Vish got eaten by torps from a poi that was in front of him, that was in front of me, so I should probably pay attention to see if any missed.
You killed him already.
I know I did, but I'm saying he hit you with a torp, and I'm not sure if the rest of them hit you or not.
One, the rest of them passed me. But I ate one and died from 95% cruise. That was unfortunate.
Also, heat. You're in
Not
Arizona.
common.
You're slow regardless of what speed you're going.
Oh no! No! Don't do this to me! Don't! No!
the other thing that was notable was the Spanish made comment about how the
Holy
Japanese built
shit.
40.
Did you just
Holy
say Arizona?
shit.
hole?
Holy shit!
But the
didn't
Japanese
just
built
happen.
40 European-style
Oh my God.
warships in a single month. So
What?
that was
They
a little straight into
stopped
Spanish.
literally 3 feet from my hole.
Oh,
I mean, honestly, you could have just sailed through them, if I'm to be entirely honest.
yeah, you have OWOs.
That's a horrible statement, but yeah, no, it's that was a bit of an overreaction. Those were just torps. It's not like Arizona cares about them.
I just thought he was insulted about me saying he was slow.
Oh,
Because I just watched
Just
it
don't
fade
tell me
off.
British or something.
produced. Beach bubble. Beat Markiplier. But yeah, the problem, the fear that the European powers in the area, mainly the Portuguese and the Spanish, because the Dutch were happy to have them as a trade partner. The Dutch played it smart by not antagonizing them. But to be fair to the Portuguese, they were kind of fighting an uphill battle when what's his face, the English samurai came about, the Englishman who became a Japanese advisor.
That one.
That guy basically said, these Jesuits are assholes. And the ass is like, you don't say. Tell me more about these assholes. And after his consultation, he basically used that guy's consultation as a grounds to kick out the Jesuits from Kyoto, which was, that was a major blow to their ability to negotiate with Japan on relatively good terms. Overall, of course, the situation then henceforth deteriorated further, but the Japanese were convinced that the nature of the missionary that Europe had was a scout. Yeah. So the idea was that the missionary would probe the land, get a lay of the land, get a lay of the people,
and
report it back. Well, they would then sow discord in that population, and then they would, but they're the forward force to an invasion, essentially. Yeah. And that was the belief, and that was why there was great suspicion and superstition. And this was, like, it definitely, I guess, wouldn't have been improved by the Nagasaki Rebellion, because, you know, a Christian revolt is like exactly what they were expecting would happen.
Yeah.
You know, so
Confirm the
once-
paranoia.
Yeah, and so it essentially made Japan think, okay. And just to be clear, Sakoku as a concept was not unique to Japan in the sense that they kind of looked at their peers. Like Japan would consider Korea
Fletcher.
and China to be more closer to their peers than Portugal or Denmark, or not Denmark, sorry, or Netherlands.
That's
Look
unbelievable.
similar,
They-
speak similar, have similar cultures.
We know you for longer. Like they know Korea is an established kingdom. They know China's established kingdom. They know that China and Korea are also cultured and developed, and they've seen their architecture. They've
And
seen
they also
their
know where it
technology.
is.
And you ask a Japanese daimyo or even the shogun at the time what they know of Europe, and it will literally just be the stories from missionaries and traders. You know, they have no idea about
There's
European
funny-looking people from that
capacity.
direction.
Yeah, they had never seen a European building. They had never seen European military or infrastructure in the quantitative capacity. They know of guns. They know of the technologies brought by the merchants, but they don't know the scale. Essentially,
I suppose they probably
So-
like European castles.
oh yeah, they'd love a star citadel. In fact, Japan built one. But it's
I meant even
highly-
like older castles, because Japan didn't really ever do siege warfare in the sense of trebuchets and stuff.
yeah, not trebuchets. They definitely did cannons. They definitely did
Yeah, but I
mangonels and
mean
onagers.
before cannon and stuff. But
Actually, they did have a trebuchet, but it was anti-infantry. So it was a man-pulled onager, and it was, of course, counterbalanced by pulling on it rather than by a weight.
Europeans
but-
use those too. But
Yes, but essentially it shot at. It was a field shot, field onager, I suppose you could say, or field trebuchet. It wasn't exactly designed for
fortification.
fortification systems, yeah, and it was designed during the Onin War, so pre-Portuguese. The design of it was very interesting, but overall, siege warfare in Japan was designed more around terrain in a
Yeah,
log.
and
It's
storming.
a very mountainous system. There was definitely a lot of defortification systems and destruction of fortification, but it wasn't quite as conventional as you'd
Damn it,
see
you
in Europe.
killed the guy I was going to shoot at.
That's fine. I've been trying to lice up that New Orleans like it's Mardi Gras, but he wasn't obliging.
Yeah, I think the big thing is just that constructional limitations also include earthquake protection.
I missed one destroyer, but I hit another
There
destroyer.
are some very foundational limits that would prevent certain techniques that are used in European castles to be used in Japan. And
Now, if only Gaijin didn't insist on giving Arizona the worst possible rate of fire they could.
yeah, that would be nice if only.
I mean, seeing as we finally managed to get them to budge on Scharnhorst, maybe they'll,
It will take a lot to do that. It will take a very intimate understanding of ready rack mechanics. It's going to be hard. If you guys can find an argument, by all means. But
I mean,
it's
we
sort
already
of-
presented our argument. Our argument is, during gunnery trials, she successfully
Yes.
managed to fire, like, 3 salvos at her average speed of 32 seconds per salvo.
Yeah,
they were-
unfortunately, that's the problem. Is what
On
makes
multiple occasions.
what makes the Scharnhorst argument work there. I don't think they'll buy it for this. Essentially, the problem is that they made the case about it being a ready rack issue, right? So we have to find a way to explain how that's not how rate of fire works.
Well, the issue
Essentially,
is that rate of fire doesn't work the way that they've got it in game anyway.
true. I think that's going to be an issue.
My argument is basically, if you want to make Arizona's rate of fire horrendous, then you need to make adjustable rates of fire for every ship in existence.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not. It's not even an adjustable rate of fire. It's just they just set it as horrendous, right? So it's not even that they're adding a ready rack mechanic to it or anything. It's just bad, And I think that is a big part of the problem.
These 2 bot destroyers here.
What did they buy?
We have destroyed the enemy's base.
What did they buy?
Now, victory
No,
will
I've just got these 2 bot duck. Oh, so we won.
Yeah, they 2 bot destroyers. What did they buy?
I don't.
Wow. Wow, you are really reaching new lows.
Wow,
Holy
70,000
shit.
research.
Thanks, Optical.
You're welcome.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Game, I'm proud of that.
55k. Okay, I'm making about the same.
Almost got Pittsburgh too.
The top 8 people on our team. Sorry, the top 9 on our team were better than their number 1. That's funny.
Crap.
Well, to be fair, our top 9 people were all... Like, I was in Scharnhorst, you were in Congo, Opti was doing what Opti was doing, Heat was trying to get to the battle in Arizona after having contributed a substantial amount in his cruisers. And then we had Super Widowmaker also in a Scharnhorst, and Long Ming Ji, I think, was in a Congo, maybe. We had another Congo somewhere as well, but I don't think I saw a single capital ship on the enemy team other than an Ecoma.
There's like one Ecoma that spawned twice and died instantly.
It
farted and died.
It took a surprising amount of effort for me to kill one.
I'm like really missing capital ships, but I'm so close to getting so much more on the British tree. I just like this is actually pretty. I'm putting a really good dent in the British tree.